All right. Hello, hello. Back on. I'm not going to ever leave or forsake the people I was ordained by God to do this teaching on my birthday, uh, 2021, outside my house with the rainbow with the white light about it. And he poured purple out on the road beside me. And my wife was there to see that. Um, but I'm going to stay away from anything to do with what anybody else tells me. I'm just going to go with the book. So I'm going to start off like I just finished the Bible again here. So I'm going to start off in Exodus. And we know that Moses wrote Exodus, right? So when he talks about his name, Moses, that's out of the waters. That means out of the waters. He was taken. How do you doing, brother? Moses means out of the waters because he was taken out of the waters, right? So yeah, Friday, buddy. We're going to get my truck. Me and my wife will do it because it's going to be later on, 4 o'clock. I'm not waiting on anything anymore like I've been. Uh, these people are playing with my life. Insurance and all these companies are taking forever to do the things. They're playing with my life. It could be $1,000 a day I'm losing here. So uh, they're they're s- they're in process, but I'm going to put my plate on my van and I'm going to drive it home. Okay. Enough's enough. It's been 2 months that I've been fighting to get this company, and I'm not going to fight any longer. These people, these people that say, "Oh, we'll get it done," but then 2 weeks later, they, "Oh, well, I need this and I need that." No, no. If it comes worse to worse, I'm gonna go to my own insurance company. I'm gonna take my van and get it uh, looked at by a mechanic and approved by a mechanic. I'm not gonna wait any longer. So out of the waters Moses was took out of the water. Okay. He his mother put him in the water. We're going to get to that story here. And I'm going to start off at Exodus 17 because that's where I outline. Okay, so but the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the man children alive. Okay. Well, we fear God and we're in Egypt right now. This is Egypt. Okay. It's uh, It is the scarred head to bruise the heel and it'll return. And that's the civilization Egypt. I act like we're in Egypt right now. Okay. This is what this is. We're in Egypt and we're captives. We're getting ready to get set free by God and Jesus. Okay. So I believe Revelations when it says uh that day, that 1,000 year reign with uh with Satan being re-loosed again, that 1,000 years could be a day. Because a day is 1,000 and 1,000 is a day. I believe it's all going to happen so quick. That's what it says. It's going to happen so quick in the twinkling of an eye that it's all going to happen at once. It's going to be quick. Okay. There's going to be days before it's over. I don't know. None of us know exactly how God's going to do it. So when it talks about waters, who are the waters? Well, people are the waters. When it talks about the seas spiritually, it talks about who feeds us. Uh, the seas, the group of people. Okay. So that's what that is. You're either of the sea of the devil or the sea of God. There's no other sea. Now that's what the seas mean. When it says wormwood hits the sea, it's already here. It's made many people bitter from wormwood. So I thank you guys for all coming here today. We're in Exodus 1. Let's go to 2 2. That's where I'm going to continue this on. So, and the woman conceived and bare a son, and when she saw him, that he was a godly child, she hid him for 3 months. She hid him. Why? Because back then they weren't liking the godly people, right? So, and when she could no longer hide him, she took him an ark. This is Moses. We're talking about Moses here, and she couldn't bear him anymore. So she put him in the water, and that means out of the water. Okay. So Moses means that. Dubbed it with slime and with pitch, and put it the child there, and then she laid in the flags by the river brink. and his sister stood afar off with to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down and washed herself at the river, and her maidens walked along the river side. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it, Moses. And when she had opened it, she saw a child, and behold, babe wept. And she had compassion on him and said, "This is one Hebrew's children," right? And then it gets to telling us who this person is. Then said to sister Pharaoh, "Daughter, shall I go and call thee a nurse of the Hebrew woman, that she may nurse the child for thee?" And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." And to the maid went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, "Take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee the wages." And the woman took the child and nursed it. Do you, so it's kind of like us. We're born into darkness to come to the marvelous light. He was took to go to the Pharaohs to teach. He became a Pharaoh's son, like an adopted son. He came into darkness. He he was in a strange land. This is like us. We're born into the darkness to come to the light. Same sort of thing, but different day. And 10, the child grew, and she brought him into Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses, and she said, "Because I drew him out of the water." What are we being drawn out of the right now? The water. The many waters that fill our spirit comes from heaven in Jesus Christ. Those are the waters. The sea is the groups. So there's two seas. There's Satan's sea, get it, seed, and there's God's seed. Which one were we drawn out of? Okay. This morning I said enough was enough, and I got off my tail and I come on to do a teaching. This is what I was put here to do, because I have some understanding. I don't have it all. None of us do. So it drew him out of the water. We're being drawn out of the water and out of the sea of Satan, because we're in the dark. We were born in the darkness. In the dark water we were born to come to the light water. That's what we're doing now. And no man's going to stop me or put me in down. Nobody can explain exactly how Revelations is going to happen in what chronicle order. It's not in chronicle order. I can tell you right now, I've read it many times and listened to it many times. And that 1,000-year reign where Satan's loosed for a short time could be a day to us. Okay. So we don't know that, because 1,000, one day is 1,000 to God. So it came to pass in those days. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to quickly go through some of the Bible. In those days when Moses was growing, that he went into his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he had spied on the Egyptians smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren, and he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew an Egyptian and hid him in the sand. Did you know Moses killed two people and he hid them in the sand? He was a murderer. Okay. God called a murderer. So I was a murderer. God called me. We're all could be a murderer. Okay. I see that the other day. Like, we all have issues, we all have problems. It's gonna get dark, guys. It already has. The Lord always shows me. I went through a whole week of tribulation, and I haven't been on for very much. I've been fighting to stay in the Lord. Okay. And today it was, I had enough of it. I said, "Satan, you do not take place in my flesh. I am of God and of Jesus, not of you. I am not going to listen to you." Okay. And I took a stand and I came on here today to teach and talk about God and Jesus like I normally do. I've got tomorrow, Thursday. I'm going to be on tomorrow. I'm going to probably be on twice today and twice tomorrow. I got to I'm going to be working soon. So I won't be able to do this as often as other. And sometimes I need to take a break from it, okay? And then God showed me that. You had a dream about a snake. It was basically like, hold on, I got to read that. Yeah, it became a better, a bigger. So, snake is a small thing, and I had a dream about snapping snakes. Okay, so I was in a river, and these colored snakes were coming at me, and I was catching them, and I was breaking them, and then these big ones started coming. And up rose a lion. He was about 200 feet tall. Told me just to worry about the small ones, and I'll break the big ones. Okay, so well, that might be that the manifestation of the snakes are coming to this earth. We're going to go on to that's going to happen. The manifestation of all evil is going to happen on this earth. It's going to happen so quick and at a time that nobody expects, just like the Bible says. Nobody knows this time. Nobody really knows how God's going to do it. We well, we know how he's going to do it, but not in what order, okay? So there was a small, but they tried chasing me, but I wasn't scared and I destroyed it. What do you take the snakes of Moses? He had a rod and it was a snake. And the evil ones threw down there and they turned into snakes, and Moses threw down his rod and it swallowed up their snakes. Same sort of thing. Okay. Yeah, and we'll destroy them. That's what's happening in us right now spiritually. Those stakes are being destroyed. It's on God's timing though, because I keep trying to go, well, how come this keeps coming back? And I said enough was enough, and I gave it fully to the Lord, and hoping He would take it away. So Moses was drawn. So Moses is like us. We're murderers and strangers and naked without Jesus. Okay. We can murder a person without life. You can murder them by texting against him or talking against him. That's murderer. God doesn't talk against you, he talks for you. If if who could be against us? If God be for us, who could be against us? Right? So he talks for us, not against us. We should do the same to our brethren. We shouldn't turn on our brethren. Okay? And no matter what you go through with somebody, you're looking for a relationship with your brother. Some people are in darkness still, and we all are a little bit. Why would we turn on our brother? That just doesn't even make sense. Does Jesus turn on us? Absolutely not. For how many times we fail being a Christian, Jesus never turned on us. Why don't we look at them and do the same thing? Okay. So let's not be hypocritical here. Let's take care of our brother. When someone's going through trouble, you pray for them. I was drawn into some stuff this last week that I couldn't even believe that I fell for again. Okay? Some argument with a friend. I don't want to do that. I'm not here to destroy people. I'm here to help people in their walk. Okay, that's all I can do is I can plant a seed and water it, but I can't give it the increasement. That's for God, and Jesus gives the increasement on faith. So it's all about it. Don't matter if the world's flat or round or this or that. That to me is absolutely it doesn't really matter to me if people aren't going to see it. And you know what matters to me at the end of the day? That people make it into heaven. Okay. You are in darkness, so why should we turn on someone that's in darkness? We're all still a little bit into it. It'll talk about Moses putting his arm into God, pulling it out, and it was of light, and then God told him to put it back, proving no rapture all the way back to the beginning of Exodus. It talks about, okay? So, and when they went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together, and he said unto him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? How can you smite your fellow when you've done God wrong? Hmm, look at that. Why am I smiting him when he was in the same position as me? Okay. We're all at different levels. Okay. Some people teach other things. That's okay. Let them teach it. We're not forcing anybody to teach. I don't force this on anybody. This is a choice. How you doing, Myra? It's good to see you. I'm excited today to be on, right? So why should we smite our brother when we're no better? Okay? I saw that this weekend. I got upset and I fought back when I shouldn't have, okay? So I'm just being honest, right? God works. Yeah, he works through this channel. The teaching for today isn't my teaching. It's a teaching for you guys, okay? I'm not sitting here learning on my own. We're learning together. I'm not a pastor, okay? I'm not a prophet. I'm just like Moses. He's just using me. I don't even know how to bear. I'm not a good writer or reader. Neither was Moses. Moses stuttered. Okay. And Moses killed right here. And when he saw that it was no man, he slew an Egyptian and hid him in the sand. Huh. That's like when we smite our brother, what are we doing? We're trying to hide him in the sand. He's this and he's that, yet we're no better. Okay. We need to be for our brother, not against them. When there's something comes up to arises up, eh, you see that he's having problems. Why strike him down? So are we. Okay. So and the Egyptian and feared and said, surely this thing is known. And when the Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses, but Moses fled from him from the face of Pharaoh, and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. What are we doing? We're escaping Satan every day. We're trying to get away from Pharaoh Satan. Yeah, it's definitely freakish weather here too. It went from plus 20 one day to -3 the next. That's because we're wobbling to and fro like a drunkard. And we were kicked out of our spot like a cottage, to show you. When a cottage is built, it doesn't move. They maintain it for its rest of its life at that spot. So same with the earth. How could it be spinning around? Anyways, I don't want to keep going on that, right? It's only simple. The Bible has, hold on, I got to go grab my glasses. The Bible has many scriptures explaining what the world is, and does it really matter? No. At the end of the day, hold on, guys, I got to grab my glasses. At the end of the day, it's about our brothers. It's about helping people from situations that we're in and working together with the Lord, not going against each other. I had some of that happen this weekend. I'm not into that. Okay. And here's another one. The seven daughters. Okay, so I'm on 16, 2:16. And now the priests of Midian had seven daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the through to water their father's flock. That's the same thing what we're doing, is we're watering the flock. What's the flock? Everyone that's alive is a flock. Whether they everyone there's a balance of good and evil in every person. Okay? And the balances are here. That's the horse. The balance, the horse with the balances. And God's balancing us out. He's taking evil out every day. But that evil is constantly being coming out of us because I'm telling you right now, I've gone through so much evil as a Christian. Like I've seen so much evil as a Christian, and I'm done some evil things as a Christian. But do I love doing it? No, I hate it. So, but we're here to help each other and feed our flock. Water, give water to them. That's all we can do. We can't force them. We can show them the water, and that's it. And if they drink out of it, and you want to, and you can water them, you will. Many waters. Okay. People. We get from Jesus says we'll never hunger and thirst again. We get our spiritual fed. We get spiritually fed from waters. Okay, waters up above. So waters and seas in the Bible are people and group. Okay. So, and the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and held them and watered their flock. Moses did this. He just finished murdering two people. He's the child of God. God told him he is a child of God. But he still, just like King David, killed people. Okay? Indignation. David was a great indignation against the people that don't love the Lord. What's happening now? Who cares about Ukraine? But it's going to come to the whole world. Okay? I heard someone say that uh, Ukraine's president is the Antichrist. No, you don't know. We'll all know at the same. You'll know the Antichrist when he rises. He's already here. They're already kissing his fingers. The world systems are already ready for that. The money, the Bitcoin, that's all been tested. It's all been tested. Okay. So they're getting ready to change everything right in front of your eyes. Okay. Where your money is going to be nothing. You're not going to be able to buy anything on your credit score of what you believe in. You're not going to be able to get into Bitcoin if you believe in God. That's the mark. That's part of the mark. It's not, it says mark on your hand and your forehead. It doesn't say chip on your mark on your hand or your forehead. Doesn't say that at all. It says mark. You're marked by your works. What evil things you do with your hands. You mark yourself by free will. So same in here on your thoughts. If you're not trying to change them and evil thoughts are coming and you're not casting them down and you're running to sin. Well, I don't run to sin. I run away from it. Every now and again it overtakes me, man. I don't know about you guys, but it says in the Bible that Satan will overcome us. Doesn't mean once. Okay. He's overcame me many times where it just, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't fight against, I wasn't strong enough to fight against my flesh. And I'm still at that point. I'm trying to every day, but that's for God. He keeps something with you. It's called the thorn. Okay. And that thorn's going to bug you. That's the Christ Jesus until the day you're taken away. When I raise you up on the last day, not your flesh. You. This. Okay, so I'm going to fly. Like I said, I'm just kind of going through. I'm doing a quick fly through the Bible because I just finished reading the whole entire Bible. Actually, yesterday I finished reading the whole entire Bible again for like the fourth and eighth time, the New Testament. And this is only, I've taught it twice. I've only taught the Bible, and it takes a year to teach the Bible. Okay, that, and I did many of ours, and I can't see how it would take any less than that. That's what it took me. Okay, so I've taught it twice. I've taught the New Testament 4 or 5 times. I've taught the Bible a couple times, and I'm not teaching nothing. Just let me put a stop to that. The Lord teaches through me. Right? It takes time. Okay, I got almost 800 videos now. The Lord came in me in those videos. It's not me speaking that's sitting in front of you. I'm just the guy with the rod, like Moses had the rod, right? So Moses 3, Exodus 3. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, and the priest of the in Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mount of God, even to Horeb. What are we doing? We're doing the same thing. We're trying to lead our flock the right way, okay? Not the wrong way. Smiting your flock is not leading your flock, it's beating your flock. We're not beating our flock, we're not treating them, we're just trying to lead them the best we can. So and the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. Remember the burning bush? And it couldn't burn him. It was a different fire. It's an all-consuming fire. Didn't light the bush. When he came to the bush and he left it, the bush was still there. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. What I just said. And Moses said, I will now turn aside to see the great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. 5. And he said, Draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes, because you're on holy ground. From thy feet, for this place where thou standest is holy ground. Moreover, he said, I am God the Father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses, his face, for he was afraid to look upon God, because he's all consuming. And he only has his bosom to you. If you would have an appearance of God in front of you, you wouldn't be able to look at him in this flesh. He would consume you. Okay? That's why he works through Jesus, so he doesn't consume you. He wants to save you. He's too pure. His love is he's way too pure for our flesh to stand in front of him. And so is any angel or Jesus, by the way, it says in the Bible. Okay? And that's why he's washing our coats in the blood of the Lamb right now, so that we can stand in front of him and not be consumed. That's not saving us. If he consumed us, he would consume our soul as well, because there's too much darkness rooted in us. And that's why he's hallowed be thy name, because he's rooting out the darkness. He's hallowing us out to put in his spirit. Okay. So when the Lord said, I have surely seen the afflictions of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. He knows everything. Okay. And I'm come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians. What are we in now? The hand of Egyptians. We're basically in Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah. Whatever you want to say, we are there now. We're not set free fully. Okay. Jesus said, when I set a man free, he's free indeed. Doesn't mean now that you've came into Jesus, you're free totally. No, you have to go through afflictions, pain, suffering, sorrow, prosecution. Through many tribulations, you make it to heaven. Without many tribulations, you're going to have to go through them, just like everybody else did. That's part of what we go through. Because when we're there with the presence of the Lord and walking and running beside Jesus, what the Bible says, we're in his footsteps now. We're not running beside him yet. Okay. So when I come down to deliver out of the hands of the Egypt and to bring them upon the land unto the good land and to the large and to the land flowing with milk and honey and into the place the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. Okay. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me. Yet we're still crying in the wilderness. We're still in the wilderness. This land is a strange land right now. The wilderness of evil is upon us. We're in that wilderness, land of decision, okay? Where everything we decide can be your fate or your life. Okay. So the decisions we're making are so important. Yesterday I was fighting sin again. The day before. I'll say no, no, no. I had enough of it going through it with my friend. That I don't want to sin, man. Today I was like, you know what? I'm sick of you, Satan. Get out of my flesh. Okay. I'm not going to listen to you anymore. I've dealt with him my whole entire life. Wow, everybody's going. Anyways, it's all good. And that's where we live. It's getting darker and darker and darker. I heard a teacher, because I do listen to some people here and there again. I need to be fed too. So I had her teacher say that it's gonna get darker and you're gonna see the people. I want to see the people for the evil. I want to see them for the good. I'm tired of looking at evil. I've dealt with it since I was born. And I can literally tell you, I was really born in darkness. So look at Moses. He was born as a Hebrew child, but was adopted by Pharaoh into darkness. Why the darkness? To help out of these dark places. That's what we're all helping do. I can only talk. I can't lead you out of anything. I can only help. Okay, I can only give the waters that's given to me to give to you guys. I haven't been on. I'm not going to be on tons much anymore. You know, the Lord's actually told me not many people even want to listen. There's nobody that wants to listen to the. Even my Mark said the same thing. People aren't listening. They're building their own gods. They're building their own paradigm, and it's not their fault. It's many deceptions are in the world right now. Okay, great deception as far as I consider, and rapture's a huge one. And false error and people following things that aren't fact. The Bible's fact, not fiction. I will never turn away from the Bible for what it's done for me. I've seen what the Bible can do. No other book can do that. It's the KJV. Changing the words. They didn't change the words. If they did, they didn't change them. There's not one lie in that Bible. Okay? If Jesus' words are written in the Bible, wouldn't that be blasphemy to mix it with other words that isn't of God? That's fornicating the word. God's not going to give us a Bible and then fornicate it. That doesn't even make sense. How would it's our God, man? There's a book that I would trust. All the other books have errors in them. The KJV might have had a little bit of changes here and there in it, but the meaning is the same. Okay. I've read when it talks about the moon, it says she in the KJV. In all the other Bibles, it says it to take you away from the two witnesses. That alone, that one little word, by changing one little word, changed the meaning of what the moon is. Same with the sun and his going forth. It says in the it says, and it's going forth. You see that? Changing the meaning of the word of God. The KJV Bible doesn't change the meaning, just some words. I have a friend that I haven't seen her forever and I miss her. I think she left the channel. Anyway, Seven Thunders. I hope she didn't. The one day I thought she came in and it wasn't her, but it sure looked like her. And she was, man, guys, I'm not the greatest. I have problems too. I fight evil on every side of me every day. It's making a day to follow the Lord. And I sometimes, listen, I falter sometimes and I stumble too, just like every normal person. You know, I can't believe even teachers would think they're so perfect and that they don't fall. And I'm a child of God and I've been reading the Bible since I was 6. But you have no understanding why these past tribulations, and they're out teaching the Bible. Well, there's two sides to every story. If you don't know the evil, you don't know the good. If you don't know the New Testament, you don't know the Old. Oh, my phone's ringing. How come it always rings when I'm on? Hello?
Yeah, but I think because you're far away from the computer, it's buzzing really badly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just get back if you can.
Yeah, I wasn't. Wow. Usually I just walk around a little bit, but yeah, I'm here now.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. So I guess my computer was buzzing because I was walking too far away from it. Sorry, guys. I'll stay as close as I can to it. So, anyways, we're all like a Moses in a way. We all could commit. Without Jesus in here, I'd be a murderer. Okay, I need Jesus. How do I know this? Every day, more and more in my life. I'm gonna endure it all. I'm gonna keep following him. I had to endure a whole week of hell. It's been a hard, tough week for me. Okay. So, but the Lord's like, today you go back on and teach. Like, I listened to him. Yesterday I had nothing. If he doesn't give me something to teach, I don't. That's it. I go by what he says. I wait on the Lord. I'm patient with the Lord. He's patient with us. If you pray and then you just go and answer your own prayer, do you think it's going to actually work? No, it's not. So we need to be patient. So 8, and it shall come to pass if they will believe they're neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, and they believe the voice of the latter sign. Oh, I jumped ahead, sorry. I went too far ahead. I wanted to get into, let me see where I was. Oh, I lost where I was. Hold on, was I back here? Okay, there's where it was. And I came down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them out of the land unto the. Already said that. And that's what he's coming because we're still oppressed. Okay? We're not set free. You're in your flesh. You're not totally free. You have the bondage of your flesh and of this world. You have to feed yourself, clothe yourself, wash yourself. Physically, we're in bondage as well as somewhat spiritually. Okay, everybody has a little, even the best person that you could ever think of has a little bit of darkness in them. Okay, and even the person that has more all darkness in him does has a little bit of light in him, yin and yang. That's what yin and yang means. The white part of it has a little black dot in it. The black part of it has a little white dot in it. That's what that means. Okay. Everybody, there's a balancing scale in us. Okay. And our flesh is the darkness. I don't just believe that, I know that. This is Egypt. My flesh is Egypt. And I want to be delivered from this Egypt. But it's God's timing, not mine. So 10, come now, therefore, and I will send unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. We are Israelites inside, but our flesh is definitely not. It's the beast, okay? And we were harlot because we fornicated. Every person fornicated. That's the harlot beast, or the harlot that rides the beast. We're all harlots. We all did something wrong in our life. Now that harlot's taking back over. What's a harlot? It's a she. What are you? The bride. A she. So, because we're getting married in the wedding supper of the Lamb. And Moses said unto God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? Moses said, who am I? He didn't feel he was worthy to do that. You know what? There's some days that I don't feel that I'm worthy to do what I do. But the Lord keeps putting it in my heart. This is why I've raised you up. He's raising us up. He's molding us. He is our caretaker. We're in his reins. We're in his hands. Okay. So be patient. So some days I feel like that too. And he said, certainly I will be with thee. And this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee when thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt. Ye shall serve God upon this mountain. That's what I want to do. Serve God unto the best ability I can. This I had to get back strength for this past 7 days. I was beaten down. I was torn. Okay. But I kept my mind on the Lord and kept reading. I started over my Bible. Okay. And we're to serve God on this mountain. What's this mountain? The mountain that He takes out of you. Because when you got to climb a mountain to get to the top, don't you have to strive? Doesn't He have to cut that mountain and make it flat? So each step is less? That's the mountain. We're in the mountain, we're in the sea, whatever you want to say. Okay, there's different meanings for these things spiritually. So when Moses said unto God, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers has sent me unto you. It's the same thing with me. My God sends. I send a messenger before my face. I send a messenger and he will lead you. It's the same as Moses. He was a murderer too, but he was sent. You don't think he went and felt bad for murdering 2 Egyptians? Oh, I believe he did. I believe he repented of it. Okay. Other if he didn't, he wouldn't have made it to heaven. And I'm telling you, Moses made it to heaven. So if a murderer can make it to heaven, that's one of the worst sins ever. Because if you murder someone, you're murdering their generations. Many generations you've murdered. That man that you murdered could have had a grandchild, great grandchild, great, 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 and hasn't. Okay. So you've murdered generations when you murder a man. When you murder a man in like without the sword, it's gonna come back on you anyway. You can't curse the people of God, so why even bother? Why hate the ones that you still love? Love is a strong word. We need to love everybody. There are brothers, whether they're in darkness or not. If they're still alive in this flesh, they're your brother, okay? It's the most important thing. So, and to me, what is the name? What shall I say unto them? 14, and God said unto Moses, I am that I am. You can't name God. It's like saying to a dog, name your owner. He is higher, much higher. He has many names: Jehovah Nisi, Yahweh, God. I call him Father because he's my Father. He's shown me that. Okay? Not to say that I'm any better. Thus shalt thou say to the children of Israel, I am, has sent me unto you. And God said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel. He gives us what to say. Not me. I don't come and write things down. I just go by what the Lord has me go by. It can go from into my Bible to the phone to my iPad to whatever, right? He leads it, right? He just speaks through me. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. So his real name to me is Father. But the name that he even said to Moses was, I am that I am. He's always been. Okay. So 16, go gather the elders of Israel together and say unto them, the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you, and seen that which is done to you in Egypt. Everybody's going to get a visitation. Okay. I had many visitations. And it wasn't on my time. I wasn't expecting it. That's when he comes, when you're not expecting it, least. Okay. And I have said, I bring you out of affliction. Huh. Are we still in affliction? Of course we are. Prosecutions. Let me mark where I am. Afflictions. When you become of God, more afflictions come on you more than ever have before. I can tell you that right now. Because there's going to be things you're going to be sowing, and you're going to have to reap them. That's the way it is, because he's hollowing you out. He's purging you. The manifestations sometimes happen. It's happened to me many times. And I'm still looking up at the Lord. I'm still broken, guys. A lot of the chains have come off, but I'm still broken. Aren't we all? Right? So I hate someone took my saying of Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Nobody can but Jesus. Okay. So, and someone stole that the other day, and that was very, you're not supposed to steal someone else's words. And right there, where did he get it from? You don't know who's listening to you guys, okay? So I don't. There's some people in here that are listening sometimes that think they're of higher stature. But I'll tell you right now, Moses was on his own. I'm kind of like Moses. But he had a some followers, but he started as a murderer. Same with Paul, Saul. They start as evil, and helping the fellow servants come out of their evil is going to deliver you. It's helped me so much. That's why I want to keep doing this, because it helps me. I'm not doing it to seek to save my life, guys. I've already died twice and came back to life. Lord knows I'm not seeking to save my life. I put my life, I tell the Lord, if I die and they make it, then that's what really matters to me. If you're not a child of God, you're not going to say something like that, okay? And I'm not boasting on it. I've said it many times to the Lord when I go through some troubles, some troubled waters. Okay, troubled waters. You know what that is? Dark waters. They're all around us. This is darker than it's ever been, and it's only going to get darker. We live in a time that never was and never will be again. I'm not here to destroy anybody, okay? And same with here in my life around here. Am I perfect? No, of course. I got in an argument with a brother last week, and it hurt my soul, guys. But it also taught me something. I'm not going to get into arguments with people. If they want to be saying stuff and getting mean over the phone, I have to say, I'm sorry, brother. I have to let you go for now. I have to learn from my mistakes now. I'm sick of stumbling over same things that I should have learned over. The Lord will show you where you're weak. Wow, will he ever? He's done it with me many times. Okay, so 3:18. And they shall hearken to thy voice, and thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt, and you shall say unto him, the Lord God of the Hebrews have met with us, and now let us go, we beseech thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness. What are we in now? We're in a wilderness of darkness. A lot of dark sea and dark waters around us. It's it tries to overcome us, and it's getting tougher and tougher every day. My wife's been sick for an entire year. She gets over it, and then there she gets another sickness. God's calling her, telling her something. I don't know, because I'm not the one to judge that. If you keep getting sick, God is warning you through your flesh. That's how he warns us. He pounds our flesh. He doesn't. Our choice does. If we're not hearkening to the voice of the Lord, your flesh might go through something, okay? Mine has so many times. And she's been getting sick and I haven't. I sleep with her. How come I don't get the colds? Do I deserve them? Absolutely. I could reap so much at the end that it would overbear me. Okay. So he's not going to give more than you can bear. Okay. He's not going to put more on you that you can bear. Okay. That we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. What are we sacrificing? Our sin every day. By the choices we're making every day shows you who you are of. Even though you have to fight sometimes, you make the right decision. He looks at that at the end. If you have a little bit of darkness in you and you're mostly light, you're going to make it. I would say 20% of you has to be, or 80% of you has to be light. Okay. And he'll do that to you. But he leaves a little bit of darkness in everybody. And that abasens us. It's happened to me over and over and over. And I go, oh, so I am no better than anybody. Okay. That's what he keeps me at. So that I can't come on here and say, well, I'm better than you guys all because I've read the Bible 8 times and teach it twice. And that's junk. I'm no better. I'm just at a different level. Actually, I'm the guy under the bus being ran over by Satan and people, but it's not the people. It's the spirit in the people. That's what we have to keep looking at. Uh, God forgive them, for they know not what they do. Even when they do, sometimes they don't know. Okay, I've seen it many times. So 20, and I will stretch my hand and smite Egypt with all the wonders which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go. So, what is the outstretched hand? Does anybody know what that means? And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt. That's Jesus Christ, the right hand of my Father. Okay? The right hand is the right side is the good side. The left side is the evil side. You know that? You are to overcome the left side of you. Okay? We're on the right hand being worked. We're in his hands because both of his hands are clean. Ours aren't yet. We're cleaning them. And the Lord's cleaning them, delivering you, washing your hands, your feet, and your whole flesh, changing your garment. Because we don't want to have strange apparel when God comes back. Because then he says, get away from me, he who work iniquity, I never knew you. Your garment, your spiritual garment, is changing. Are you going to get this body to change 100%? Impossible. No one on the face of the earth that's alive is righteous, 100% righteous. No one is. But through the eyes of Jesus, we are until we've overcome enough. And he said, that's about enough. It's your time to go. Your journey's over. I'm not scared to death. So, and we want to be let go of this earth. I am not of this earth. I am not on this earth, but I am of it. Okay. And when I do a sin, I'm of the earth and of Satan, because the whole world lies in the hands of Satan. Come out of her, my people, so you not be a partaker. Them who love the world have enmity with God, evil separation with God. I don't love this world. They don't do nothing for me. I had been sitting here for 2 months working out getting this van, and they're sitting there going, oh, today we need this, today we need that. They're doing teeny little steps and they're holding me back from going forward. It's come to a stop. Friday, I'm going to pick my van up. I'm not going to sit and wait on the world. Huh. The world loves its own, doesn't love us. Been nothing but a headache. I've never seen a headache more than this one trying to get this company. Okay. It's a headache. You have to get insurances, liabilities, registration. You have to go through this, you have to go through that. Too many loopholes for me. With God, you just give them yourself to Him. It ain't easy either. It's very hard. So, and I will give these people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Spiritual favor, not fleshly favor. I can tell you that right now. And it shall come to pass that when you go, ye shall not go empty. But every woman shall borrow her neighbor and of her that sojourneth in her house jewels and silver, jewels of gold and remnant, and ye shall put them upon your sons and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Egyptians. Spiritually, he's not talking about gold and silver. If you look at this in jewels and remnant, this is my treasures in heaven. This is the treasures of heaven. Okay. Today we're going to do communion too. I haven't done it and I need to do it every day, but like to do it on here. For Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, the Lord hath not appeared unto thee. That's what they say about me. I can guarantee you that. With all the dreams and everything else, and yet there's still a little bit of darkness to me, they're going to look at the darkness. They're going to say, I think you're making up stories, right? That's what they're going to say about me. But you know what? I don't need to defend that. I don't need to show a resume to anybody. God knows my resume. He read it, not me. So I don't need to be out there proving what I'm of. I don't. If people don't believe what I tell them, then why would they listen? You're just saying that I'm on here lying, okay? You know, people are they're gonna look at you and say, "Oh, look, you did this and you did that. You're not a Christian." That's what that's saying. But I love the Lord with all my heart. And I'm going through. Sometimes I'm in the wilderness. Sometimes I'm climbing the mountain. But I never give up and I endure. That's what the children of God do. They never give up, they endure. We're like cockroaches that can't be extinguished. I'm not going to be extinguished by a worm because that's what Satan is. He's a worm. And I'm not going to go to his level anymore. It's a changed me every day. There's more light in everybody. But we're in a dark time. Sometimes if you're not doing enough for the Lord, you'll be facing trouble, right? So, 19, and I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go, nor not by a mighty hand. That's God. Okay, so was our kings letting us go? Absolutely not. Are you paying taxes? Yes, you are. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all wonders which I do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go. See, that's why who if God be for you, who can be against you? If someone's screaming and yelling at you, don't put gasoline on the fire. Okay? This is something I got to come to a fullness of. Okay? I fell astray to that this weekend. I started arguing with the guy. And then the Lord said, you have to work it out. You have to work it out right away, or else it's just going to manifest evil on you. Okay. If you've done something wrong, you have to repent of it immediately. If you don't want to, that's fine. You're going to be reaping until you do. Your soul is going to mourn out. Okay. I felt bad. I called him back right away, and God took me down to back to the level I am here now, to a soft voice. Okay. Submissive. If the guy doesn't want to believe what you're saying, you can't force it to him. Can't agree with them, but you shouldn't disagree with them either. You should just go, yes, we'll move on from that subject and not talk about it with them again until the Lord shows them. Okay. It's not for us to do. We're only there to help people, not to smite them, right? So, and it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty. But every woman shall borrow. Okay, so I already did that. 4. Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, the Lord hath not appeared unto thee. I can guarantee you most people don't believe in how many dreams I've had from God and how many of dreams, 6 dreams of Jesus in it. I can guarantee you that. So I'm not even telling you who, because I don't know. But I could guarantee almost everybody that I know around me doesn't believe any of those words. Okay. So the Lord said unto him, but you know what? What's the sense to fight it? Like I said, my resume is in the hands of God, not anybody else. I'm not here to look good. I'm not, look at man, I don't shave. I'm not here for money. I'm not here for gain. I'm not here for anything but the fellowship with you guys. And the Lord put this on me. And the Lord said unto him, what is that in thy hand? And he said, a rod. There's my name in the Bible, by the way. A rod to God. That's what my name means. God changed my name 3 times. How come he did? He does things in significant numbers. 3 times in 1 week, he said in my ear, and it was audible. It wasn't in my ear. It was loud and clear. Rod. He changed my name. Okay. Well, I don't believe you. Well, if you don't, I'm not here to force anybody to believe. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses fled before it. Freaked him out. His rod turned into a serpent. That would freak us out. And the Lord said to Moses, put forth thy hand and take it by the tail. What are we doing? We're taking evil snake by the tail with our choices we make. You take that snake by the tail, not that snake take you by the tail. Sometimes it's very strong. There's many dark waters here on this earth. Put forth his hand, and he caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. And they believed that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee. Okay? So he gave Moses something, because these people need proof. They're not going to believe unless there's proof. That's what you are. You're the proof. They're looking at you, they're watching you. Okay? They're going to, any chance they get, oh, you sin, you're not a Christian, I'm not going that way. Boom. Right? Even brothers will go look at you and say you're not a Christian because you argued with me. That makes me look at what happened to me and say, why did I argue back? Why did I put gasoline on the fire instead of the spirit of water on it and diffuse the situation? I did right after because I was submissive, meek, submissive. So, and he said, put thy hand into, I love this part. So 6, and this is no rapture. The first, actually, in Genesis was rapture, talking about the rapture when Satan said, "You surely won't die." That's what rapture is. You surely won't die. You're gonna fly. Same thing. That's why I hate rapture. It's so wrong. There's over 300 scriptures saying no rapture, and these guys got 5 saying there is because they changed it for itchy eared people. I'm not pointing my finger at one person. If you believe in that, I hope the Lord shows you different, because He showed me 2 years ago no rapture. I believed in it at one time. So let's go into this, because this proves that. This also proves that you get transformed, not raptured. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put thy hand into thy bosom. Why thy bosom? Because he couldn't look at Moses. Moses still had some darkness in him. He would have consumed him. So he turned his bosom around. He wasn't looking directly at Moses, or else Moses wouldn't have finished his job. He would have been consumed by the brightness of God. And he put his hand into thy bosom. When he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. You know, someone said, oh, he gave him leper on that hand. I'm like, he's using that to tell him white as snow. Leprous people were white. They went pure white. I had someone come on my line and said, no, that's not what that means. That means he struck Moses with leprosy. Moses never had leprosy. He had to continue teaching. Why would have God afflicted him with something that would have killed him in a couple of days? He wouldn't have lasted more than what is if you had leprosy, maybe a week or two. I forget how long that it kills you. He is suggesting leprous white as snow. Okay. And he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put the hand into the bosom again, and he plucked out of his bosom, and behold, it turned again to his other flesh. He gave him a flash of his transfigured flesh that was already in heaven. You get it? That's why he says, I go to my right hand of my Father and I build you a place. Heaven has many mansions in it. Your spirit is already fighting with you. Angel. It's already an angel and helping you. There's many things that explain that in the Bible, but people don't pick up on that one. Okay, that people don't teach that one. He had a flesh that was white as snow. They could, when it appeared to when he came down from the Mount of Transfiguration, his face was white and they couldn't even look upon it. There was too much brightness. So why did God show him? I believe against the rapture is one of them. And this is what's going to happen. Your soul, your spirit is being built in heaven right now, because Jesus said on the cross, it's finished. And now you're just playing. This earth isn't what you see, it isn't real. It's what you don't see that's real. People don't get that. That's why it says that who don't see me and believe me will have everlasting life. I haven't seen Jesus. I've seen him in my dreams and in visions, but I've never seen him in the flesh. And anybody said they have been, why you still here? That's like seeing God in the flesh. He has all God's attributes now. He's doing everything that God does. He's got everything that God does, except for when he comes back. He doesn't know the day or the hour. Only God knows that. He's the conductor of this earth and the starting of time. He will be the finishing of time. Even Jesus isn't that. When Jesus is called, which I believe he's coming right now, he goes. Okay, so that's that's like one of the number one things in the Bible that shows there's no rapture. That's number one thing that shows that you already have a different flesh. It's either of darkness or light. You're either building a destroyer or light. Hey, if you make the odd choice of wrong, doesn't mean you're a destroyer. That you're building your destroyer. No, God's abasing you. He uses evil to do that. Evil for good and good for evil. Why don't I get that through my forehead sometimes? Sometimes I don't. So, and it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. Eh? When God's going to scream out, shout out with a loud voice, it's going to make people's ears bleed. It'll be heard across the whole world. Okay? Not one person is going to miss it. That's the final trumpet's going to just blow people's eardrums out. God speaks in frequencies. Okay? That's that, they say tendonitis in your ear. That in your ear. It's not tendonitis. That's garbage. That's a frequency being spoken, installed into you that comes out of your spirit. Some things that are done spiritually, you don't even understand. Spiritually in your flesh. Most people don't understand that when Jesus said, I go to the right hand of my Father to build you a place, they don't understand there's many mansions in heaven. It's not mansions. Jesus said, your mansion has many rooms. What are you going to fill it with? It's not mansions, guys. Your mansion. You know, when you become like an angel, look at Saul. It's Mercury. Mercurius says it in the Bible. And the Bartholomew, the one that was with him, is Jupiter. I am Jupiter. Those are big, oh, those are big gas giant planets. No, they're not. They're spheres. They're disc shaped. I've got pictures of them in the night, in the day, and they explain exactly what Revelations and Ezekiel explains them as. Gems, a stone, it looks like a torch. I got all that, man. So, and I done shows on the Destroyer and showed them. Anybody wants to see, go back to my shows, Destroyer, and watch it. It's not Planet X or Nibiru coming. That's absolute garbage. Anybody teaching that is a false doctor. Okay? I believe the Destroyer's coming very soon. That's the iron furnace, the furnace of iron in the Bible. Okay? That's the Destroyer. Shiva, Apollyon, right? Satan. The Destroyer is the Destroyers. It's not just one. Many people build their destroyer or their angel on earth by what choices they make. You reap what you sow. If you haven't asked for repentance, is so important. I always teach on repentance and the cross, the some of the, and the faith and your brethren and God and Jesus. Those are the 5 steps. If you take them, you fare well. Okay. So if you've gone through your brother and done something against your brother, you need to sorry for that. Okay. That's a fault, not a sin. Sin and fault are different. Faulting other person is someone, oh, sorry, it was my fault. You tripped. I put a stumbling block in front of you. I'm not listening to stumbling blocks. I get lots of them from lots of people, and I just shun them off. The Lord has me on his path of his Bible. It's not my Bible. It's not my word. It's his. And if I stay on that course, he will provide for that course of whatever it needs. I believe my van was given to me by the Lord, and my friend worked through it. He believes that too. And bless his heart, bless his soul, man, for helping me out. I really give thanks to the guy. And I don't want to become rich. I just want, my wife is getting old. She's 67 years old. She gets home and she's exhausted. She's too old to be working 11-hour shifts. She had a 23-year-old worker there calling in every week with excuses not to come into work. My wife's missed because once she had COVID, she had to miss 2 weeks. And 5 days is all she's ever missed in 30 years, besides that 2 weeks of COVID that she had. It's protocol. She wouldn't. My wife gets up going to work with a cold today. She's had a cold over and over and over for the past year. And there's something God's trying to speak to her, but she's not listening. And I'm not the one to go and point that out when God's speaking to someone. You must need to listen to God because if you don't, you'll be strucken down. I'm not in there for that. So, and it shall come to pass, if they will not believe these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it on dry land. What's that mean? The rivers that fill your spirit, he's going to take it and pour it on dry land, and it's going to be useless. It's actually going to become stagnant water, bitter, bitter waters. Wormwood is an evil angel that makes people bitter. Not a star that God puts into someone's mouth. That's absolute gibberish. People don't know what wormwood is. It's a bitter angel. It's like an angel, means it was an angel. And now it's not. It's an evil angel. It fell. Once you fall fully from the lightness of God, you cannot go back. You cannot put Jesus Christ on the cross afresh again. You can't do it. That's why you're still standing, because you haven't fell. Okay. So when he takes the water of the river, where does our waters come from? The rivers of life, through the light waters, through angels, through Jesus, the seven stars, where there's seven angels, and God, and your angel from your river that feeds. And this is what it tells you. And pour it upon dry land, and the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. Shall become blood. Let me read this again. Because they didn't hearken unto the voice of someone that the Lord put it into to speak it. That's the same thing. It talks many times of the Bible of the people of God that are to be teaching these things, and people aren't hearkening to their voice. So you're not hearkening, and I'm not saying me, I'm going to put another pastor. If he's speaking of God and you're not hearkening to that, your water's going to be poured out as blood, as your blood. Okay, it's going to be useless. It's going to become dry. It's not getting fed anymore from the true rivers of light. Rivers of light are God, Jesus, all the angels, and that's it. What are you getting your water from? The earth? The earth, them who love the world have enmity, evil separation with God. So Moses said unto, O Lord, I am not eloquent there, neither hither, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. Wasn't very smart to the things of the earth. That's exactly like me. My spelling is up, my writing's horrible, my math is horrible. But those are gifts of the earth. I'd rather have the gifts of heaven. And the Lord said unto him, He hath made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb, or deaf, or the seeth, or the blind, have not I the Lord? Everything he uses for vain. The blind man that had spent his whole entire life was blind to be a witness. When he was unblind, he was a witness that Jesus did it to him. That's what his life was. That's all he was to do. Same with the guy on the cross. He makes our mouth to speak. Let's try to be holy in all our speech. No swearing. I hate swearing. Now, for another person, they might be weak in that area. I'm not there to judge them if they're doing that. I don't go, oh, hey, look at you. You're swearing. You don't love the Lord. How do you know? Oh, look, you've done this. You don't love the Lord. How do you know that he's not weak in that area? Pray for the guy. The Lord will show you even where some of the people that you talk with are weak. So you can pray for them, not cast them asunder and just turn your back on them. There's sometimes I want to turn my back on people, but that's not what the Lord did with me. So who am I to turn my back on them when they might need me to pray? They don't know that, okay? Now therefore go, and I will with thy mouth and teach thee what thou to say. God is teaching me what to say. When I come on here, I don't plan it. I don't plan nothing or write down. Don't take script or begging bag. How come people on YouTube script everything, take words from other people's mouth, and just press the PayPal button on your way out? That to me in this time, I wouldn't do. The Lord has me not doing it for any of those reasons. Just to use me. I'm the guy under the bus being ran over and over and over and over. I just got the speaker in my mouth. I'm deaf, dumb, and blind, just like you. I'm becoming more smarter, more eyes open, and more wise, is what I mean to say. With every step I make, with every day. This is the day that the Lord has made. This is a new day. You know what? I feel like even playing that song. We need song, okay? So every now and again, I put a song on. Song. This is the day that. We come together in the glory, for this is the day that the Lord has made. Come on, we say, this is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. I will rejoice. I will rejoice and say, and be glad. Say, glad in it. This is the Lord. Come on, come on. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad. This is the day. Say, this is Okay, that's good enough. So we all get the point. This is, every day is a new day, and you're still alive. You're still fighting for Christ. That is what we want every day, okay? I'm not looking past into my back anymore. I'm sick of looking back because all it does is come back when you look back. That's the hands on the plow. Your hands are on the plow to look forward. If you're not looking forward, your plow's going to go off to the side, to the right, or to the left. Hopefully, it doesn't go to the left. Remember what I said? The right hand of my father. The right hand is good. The right eye is good. This half is evil. The left half, it's garbage. You need to overcome it to become full. Okay. So 14. And see, what I do is when I'm done teaching the Bible, I start over. That's it. I teach the Bible because I know it's true. Every single word in it, I believe. If Jesus' words in this Bible, why would the rest be fake? Why would the rest be a lie? That wouldn't even make sense. They can't find a lie in the Bible. Studies prove it. So, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, it's not Aaron the Levite, thy brother. I know that he can speak well. And also, he got upset at Moses because Moses said, well, what? I'm not good enough to speak the word. Well, the Lord did that with me in this last 7 days, guys. He's like, it's not you that's speaking, it's me. Just flip to the song and just move on. That's what the Lord wanted me to do. Go to that song. This is the day that the Lord has made. And we will rejoice and be glad in it. Listen, you're still alive. You're still on your journey. Be glad that you are, because I should be dead. I know that he can speak well, and also behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart. Huh. When we see the Lord, we're going to be glad in our heart to the extreme. Okay. I don't even know. Okay. I don't even know how. Why does every knee bow and cry as soon as he gets into his midst? So I don't know how much of it, because I haven't been there. I'm still here. And thou speak unto him and put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth and his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do through us, through you. And he shall be a spokesman unto the people, a spokesman for God. I'm God the speaker in my mouth. And he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of God. And thou shalt take his rod in thy hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs and wonders. And Moses went and returned unto Jethro his father in law, and said unto him, let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said unto Moses, go in peace. And the Lord said to Moses in Midian, go return into Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life. They're dead because they didn't have God and Jesus in them. Don't have God and Jesus in you, you're dead. You're a zombie. You're an abomination. You're naked. You're desolate and an abomination. It's already here. Most of the people are abominations. So Moses was sent where they were to teach them, because we're the light to shine in the darkness. Okay. And Moses took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass, and he returned into the land of Egypt. And Moses took the rod of God in his hand. And the Lord said to Moses, when thou goest, return into Egypt, see that thou do those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thy hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. Heh, what's our government? Then their hearts are hardened. We're not let go. We're still in Egypt. Okay? Satan runs this world, not us. Not God, but God's getting ready to come back and take it over. And that's you. He's going to give you the land of milk and honey. This ain't the land of milk and honey. This is the land of garbage and trash. This ain't my home. I'm just a quick passerby. I'm just flying by this earth in his time, though. Be patient. Okay? Patience, possess your soul. He's patient and long suffering for us. Trust me, I should have been dead yesterday. Huh, I should have been dead the day before. I don't look forward too far either. I'm in this day. Because if you look too much forward, what do you got enough troubles for today? Why are you looking forward? Look for the troubles that we have today to purge them out. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Not to purge anybody else, because I can't purge anybody. All I can do is speak what the Lord speaks through my dumbness of riding the donkey, that ass. And sometimes I am that ass. Okay, and I'm not swearing. Okay, so well, now shall say to the Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Israel is my son. Jews inwardly. God, Isaac and Jacob. Okay. Israel is my son. What are we inside? We're Israel. Okay. Outside, no. We're beating on the walls to get out of this. How do you do that? Through purging, through the sorrows, the pains, the sufferings, the afflictions. I'm almost done this one, so. And I've come passed away in the inn that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. And Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of the sons and cast at the feet and said, Surely a bloody husband art thou to me. So let him go. Then she said, A bloody husband thou art, because of thy circumcision. We're being circumcised in the heart. We're circumcised when we come into the Lord. And then it's not, this is spiritually. And then he's through the blood circumcising our flesh. That's what that means. Doesn't mean what people think circumcision is. It means becoming a son of God every day, more and more. We're going to have stumbling blocks, but we're going to get over those. We're going to endure that. Sons of God do. He's making our body with the blood. He said, I'm a bloody man, because that Jesus sprinkles the blood on you every day. Circumcision of the brain. That is the hard thing to circumcise. The brain is. It's so evil. It's flesh. So every day we're faced with these stupid brains. An evil man has probably 10,000 evil thoughts a day. A man of God probably has about it gets less and less every day. I can't say a number on that, but so I'm going to go grab my grape juice for communion. Because that I want to do as much as I can. I'm going to finish out this Exodus. I'm going to teach right when I read. I'm going to teach. I'm not going to get far ahead like I've been doing. Sometimes I go too far ahead, and the Lord wants me teaching on what I've read first that day, because it gives me the word every day. Doesn't give me the word and stuff out of the word to forget it and move on and not teach it. That's, or talk about it, however you want to say. And the Lord said to Aaron, Go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and he met him in the mount of God, and he kissed him. You're supposed to kiss your brother. We don't do that, right? But so What wilderness did he go into? Of God. We're in a wilderness of evil right now. The whole wilderness is this world. So what wilderness are you being? Okay, I try to be in God's wilderness as much as I can, but every now and again, dark wilderness comes upon me. Okay. So when Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord who had sent him, and all the signs what he had commanded him, and Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aaron spake all the words which the Lord had spoken unto Moses, and did the signs in the sight of the people. What are the signs of the sight of the people that we do? Be holy in all thy manner of speech and acting, because they're looking for wrongs, okay? So that they can condemn you. It's not them knowing that they're doing that, but that's what the people do, okay? I'm sure some people are looking for wrongs in me. I'm going to stop looking for the wrongs and start looking for the rights. You get much better result. If you're looking for fault, and that's a fault finder. God doesn't like fault finders. Finding fault in people? Why don't you look in the glass? Find fault in one and only so that you can purge it. Don't find fault in other people because you can't purge them. That's Jesus. He's refining them. You can't refine people. So all the people that believed when they heard that the Lord had visited the children of Israel and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshiped. He looked on their affliction. He knows what you're going through. Okay. He's long suffering to that, by the way. He doesn't enjoy it. He's not an evil father that inflicts you and sits there and goes, ha 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 ha, ha. Look what you done, now I'm doing to you. No, he does it so you purge it out. So, and afterward, Moses and Aaron went and told the Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold fast unto me in the wilderness. What do you think God showed me in the dream when I was in the wilderness? I wasn't in my flesh. And who was in that wilderness? There was angels above me. Mary was there. How did I know she's Mary? Because God was showing me I know her and she knows me. If I know Mary, I know her son Jesus. And then Jesus came down in the park. This is biblical. And I had to fight. Jesus showed me you're vexed. You you have to touch me before you're fully delivered. Okay? You're not. It keeps that thorn in you. Hasn't took it out of your side yet. But work for that thorn to be removed. He's going to tempt you less and less. So when the Pharaoh said, who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? That's what the Pharaoh said. I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go. They don't. The world doesn't know God. They're not going to let you go. They can't set you free. Only Jesus can. And he's taking chains off daily. If he sees that you're weak in one area, get ready because you're going to go through something so that you see and that you turn around and you purge it from you, right? We help with the purging, okay? We can't purge ourselves, but we help. So, and then they said, God of the Hebrews hath met with us. Let us pray thee 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Lord our God, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. So that's the same thing with you. If you're not sacrificing your sin and you picked it up again, guess what? The Lord's going to put you through that because you have to reap it. That's what he does. It's not evil. That's the way he works. People don't understand the way the Lord works. And the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works get you unto the get you unto your burdens. So God lest he fall upon us with pestilence. Okay? Their works. What evil works you do. You will get evil for evil. If you sow evil, that's what God, and if you're a child of God, we sow it many times. But he puts you through afflictions and sorrows, and you see it and you go, wow, I want to not want to keep doing that. Okay, so let us fill our cups. Go grab your grape juice. That's it. I'm teaching. And then later on, I got to go back into the book of Baruch. I'm teaching the books. I'm not talking about people. Somebody shares something with me. I'm keeping that with me. I had a problem with that. Now the Lord just showed me that. And I admitted to it and I humbled myself to the person. Okay. I'm not here to condemn anybody. The person thought I was condemning him and got quite angry with me and was quite verbal with me. So, was it my fault? Absolutely. I shouldn't have went right on and started teaching against it and going, "That's garbage," because that just makes people look, "What? He's talking about me." And sometimes I do it, but not. I'm not pointing my finger to one person. This is many people. Okay, so let's do this, and then I'm done for now. So grab your crackers and grab your grape juice. We're going to do communion. Communion, KJV. Wow, there's 112 verses. Communion, KJV, Matthew. This is the one I do because it's easy and it's straightforward. No, I'm not going ESV. So, and as they were eating, Jesus took the bread and he blessed it and he broke it and he gave it to the disciples and said, "Take and eat, this is my body." So when he took a cup and he gave thanks and he gave it to them, saying, "Drink ye of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remissions of our sins." He died once and for all for your sins because everybody has them. Okay. And if you're still alive, then you're not ready to go home yet. So I pray for you guys and I thank you guys all who's joined me today. I'll be back on for Baruch, uh, 4 or 5 o'clock. Okay. So God bless you guys. Thank you for coming.